think we really know what God has in store for us until way after the fact. We can never understand why God's putting us through a certain situation. I'd always grown up in a Christian home, gone to church my whole life. I never really understood why I was going. I felt like going to church was a tradition. It was something you did Sunday mornings. So I grew up in this, not really caring about church, and hearing about God but not understanding. It was when I lived in Chicago, about 7th grade, that my life started to fall apart. In Chicago, my parents were really busy with my sister's soccer. She was really good. They traveled a lot. They were constantly at practices where family conversation was always about her, always about soccer. But it got to a point where I felt neglected. I felt like I wasn't a part of the family, where if I wasn't there, no one would notice. I would turn to friends. Relied on my friends for that attention, for that love that I wasn't receiving at home. And I didn't get it. My best friends, people that I thought were my best friends, were just turning away from me, finding other friends to hang out with, and I felt so alone. I felt like there was no one there I could count on. It got to a point where I would search after everything I could find. I thought, well, maybe if I had this group of friends, maybe if I had that object, maybe if I had this or accomplished this, then I'd be happy. Then I'd find that peace. I'd find that joy I've been looking for. After finally making that one friend, after finally getting that one purse, that one position on a team, I still felt so empty. And it wasn't just an emptiness, it wasn't just well, what now? It slowly turned into a depression. I could have been clinically depressed. And the sad part was there was no one there, I felt like, that even noticed that I had changed. I sat there hoping someone would reach out to me, somebody that would ask, what was wrong, but there was no one. I've gotten migraines all my life, and I am taking medication for them. And during my depression, I started researching these medications to see what the side effects are of overdose. And I discovered that the combination of overdosing on both of them would kill me. It was no longer just playful research. It started to turn into a plan. I was waiting for that one thing to set me over the edge, and I was done. I'm like, I saw no reason to live. I had no motivation. There was no point. In this time, it was one of these nights, one of the many nights, I would sit at night before I went to bed and just cry. So one night, when things got really bad, I grabbed the pills and was sitting on my bed crying, and that was it. I determined I'm gonna end my life tonight because I can't handle it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I had the pills in my hands, and for whatever reason, I decided to pray. I don't pray. I never prayed. Like I said, I went to church, but I never pursued it. And for whatever reason, I decided to pray. With those pills in my hands, I decided I'll pray first. So I started to pray, and I was praying for change. I prayed that God would take me out of this situation, change something in my life. Because I didn't think, this whole time I'm thinking, I shouldn't want to kill myself. I shouldn't want to die. I mean, at this time I was like, 13, 14 years old. I fell asleep while I prayed. I fell asleep on my bed before I was able to kill myself, and woke up the next morning feeling different. I'm not gonna say it was some 100% better, my life was changed, but I felt at peace. I felt a rest that I haven't felt in a long time. When I moved here, I got involved at a church with a friend. I started to realize my idea of God was so wrong. I started to realize God isn't about attendance on Sunday. He's about a relationship. He's about love. That's the only word that could come to mind when I'm listening. When I started reading the Bible on my own, I realized how much love he has and how much I needed that in my life. Even though I was past the point of suicide, you still feel alone. You still need that void to be filled. And God's the only person, he's the only object that can fill that void. Every person has this desire, this hunger for something. They search. And God's the only one that can fulfill that void. I now get to go to Romania and show love to people there. I'm going back for the third time and just fell in love with these people who literally say that they are the most blessed people in the world, and you look around them and they are in a mud house with cement walls, not even sometimes, no sewage, no running water, nothing, no air conditioning. And they think they're the most blessed people in the world because they know that all they need to be blessed is the Holy Spirit. It's crazy how at my lowest point is when God decided this is the best time for you. How my lowest point was a celebration in God's eyes because it's when I turned to him. How I thought that was the end of my life. God is celebrating that this is just the beginning. I realized that God didn't want me to come to him perfect and all together. He wanted me to come when I was broken. He wanted me to come at my low point, because that's when God can use us the most, when we turn on him to depend on him for everything. And that's when he can receive all the glory. My name is Taylor Fritz, and I'm second.